Hey guys, welcome back to PristineZReads. Today I'm going to be reviewing book number 1 in the Sun That Lands series, The Crescent Stone by Matt Nicolatos. So I got this series for my birthday about 2 months ago, and I absolutely loved it so much. It was like the funniest book I've read in a long time. And yeah, okay, so let's get to it. This is the super spoiler review. If you would like no spoilers, please check out my no spoiler review. Okay, so first up is my summary. So the Crescent Stone opens up with us meeting Madeline Oliver in her senior year of high school. And Madeline has a lung disease that gives her extreme difficulty breathing, terrible coughing fits, and she will die from it in a few months. One day while she's in school, she passes out in class, and her chemistry partner, Jason Wu, and her ex-boyfriend, Darius Walker, rush her to the hospital. While fighting for her life, a strange man appears and freezes time. This man is actually not a man. He's an Elenel, a strange race of people that live in the Sun That Lands, a fairy world that exists parallel to Earth. And this man says his name is Hanali, and he says that he has an offer to make to Madeline. He tells Madeline that the Elenel have the magic and the power to restore her breath and her health, and he says that in exchange of 1 human year of service to the Elenel in the Sun That Lands, the Elenel will give Madeline her breath back, and she'll be able to run and laugh and dance and sing and do all the things that she wants to but can't because of her disease. So unfortunately, Hanali's time freezing trick does not work on Jason, and he overhears the conversation. So Jason advises Madeline not to do it, but at that moment Hanali unfreezes time again, and Madeline is thrown into a huge coughing fit. Afraid that she's gonna die, Madeline tells Jason that he should go tell Hanali that she will accept his offer, because as she thinks, what use is life to her on Earth if she's going to die? So Jason finds Hanali and tells him about Madeline's decision, and Jason also says that only on one condition, that he has to go with her. So Hanali agrees that in exchange for 1 year of human service, Jason will receive 1 chocolate pudding cup a day for the rest of his life, and a unicorn of his own, because apparently they exist in the Sun That Lands. So Jason is happy with that, and then gives Madeline the magic bracelet tattoo that Hanali gave to Jason that will immediately make their deal active. So once Madeline puts on her bracelet, then the magic starts, and she is able to breathe again. But she must fulfill her deal, as the bracelet will not keep supplying the magic if she does not start moving towards the Sun That Lands. So Jason and Madeline travel to the Sun That Lands through a series of bizarre passages. Darius couldn't come because he couldn't get on the deal in time. And they settle in the transition house in the Court of Far Seeing. And the Court of Far Seeing is like the capital of the Elenel part of the Sun That Lands. Turns out there are a lot of other humans of the transition house that have all had some kind of tragic history, and then Hanali has made them a deal, given them their heart's desire in order for their service in the Sun That Lands. So Madeline and Jason begin to get kind of suspicious of what is actually going on in here. There's some strange things, such as Jason's unicorn is not actually a unicorn, it's a rhinoceros, because the Elenel have problems with zoological classifications. And also there are things like the Elenel's prejudice against the Skim. The Skim are another sort of people. Okay, let me put it this way. The Elenel would be like the fairy kind of people, dainty and clean, the royalty, quote unquote. And the Skim would be like the peasants, the servants. They have things they call war skins, which makes them grow tusks, have all these fearsome tattoos, crazy horns, stuff like that, and makes them instantly grow huge muscles. But for some reason the Elenel are extremely prejudiced against the Skim and go to battle with them every night. And that's where Jason's service comes in. Jason and his roommates, David and Kakoa, who are Native American and Hawaiian respectively. Every night, they and all the other humans, including Madeline's roommate, Shula Bashara, who has the ability to light herself on fire at will, go to battle with the skim every night. The reason why they are able to keep doing this every night over and over again is because of the Lenel's strange healing system. So this is where Madeline's part comes in. So after the battles, Madeline is forced to help the Lenel's healer, Gilenia, with the healing of the wounded soldiers on the battlefield. So the way of Lenel's healing works like this. It's very complicated. I'll have to take some time to give it in detail. So basically, whenever a person is wounded, Gilenia tries to find another warrior that is also close to death. Basically, they won't survive and they're beyond the reach of her magic. So Gilenia will find this person who is close to death and the person who is only slightly injured, and then using her magic in her own tattoo bracelet magic thingy, she'll transfer the wounds of this injured but fixable person to the person who is close to death. And the person who's close to death will now die because he's taken on all the wounds of the other person, but then that person is saved. Madeline has a problem with this, as this is obviously an unjust and unfair system, but she has to make the choice to save Jason one night, as Jason gets crushed while riding his unicorn into battle, or rhinoceros, and he's named his rhinoceros, a delightful glitter lady, D for short. Anyways, Jason is close to death, but he's still within the reach of Gilenia's magic, so Madeline has to make the choice to save Jason, her friend, even though it will mean killing another skim. So Madeline refuses to tell Jason what happens because she knows he will be racked with guilt once he finds out what Madeline had to do to save him. So Madeline and Jason go around the world finding out how the Sunlit Lands work. One day Jason figures out that he has this dial called an ambiginator, which can make D turn from like kitten size to like juvenile T-Rex size, and all he has to do is turn the dial right to make her grow bigger and left to make her grow smaller. However, he's been observing that there seems to be like a strange transfer of magic here. Whenever he makes D grow bigger, this huge rock that he finds somewhere grows smaller. Whenever he makes D smaller, the rock grows bigger. So he thinks that obviously there's only this amount of magic in here, and it all has to be in like a transfer system. However, he wonders where things like his magic laundry hamper, which instantly returns your dirty clothes clean and folded, and a toilet that also doesn't seem to flush but empties itself instantly once you close the lid. And of course he has to wonder where all that stuff goes. So, after strange encounters with the other people in the Sunlit Land, such as the Alavorians and the Megrom and the Kakri, Madeline gets kidnapped by a black skull, and this black skull creature is supposed to be one of the skim leaders. But Madeline finds out that this black skull, once she gets kidnapped by him, is actually Darius. And surprise, yes, Darius is in the Sunlit Lands, but time works weird here. He went to search for he arrived in the Sunlit Lands after Madeline went there, supposedly, in human time. But then in Sunlit Lands time, he was there at least like 4 months before Madeline got there. It's really confusing. Anyways, this story is just so complex, I'm not sure if I would have to go over every necessary detail, but I'll try to hit all of them. Anyways, so Darius takes Madeline to see what the skim side of life looks like. And Madeline finds out that indeed all the things that the Lenel are using for their magic is also happening in reverse to the skim. All the laundry that they put in their laundry hamper goes to the skim side, and the skim have to wash them and fold them, put them back in another reverse hamper, and they appear in the Lenel hamper, clean and folded. As for the toilet stuff, I didn't really get a concrete answer on that. I'm not sure I want to know. But yeah. And so the Lenel have this thing called the Crescent stone. There. At the top of their palace thing where their ruler, Archon Zenity, lives. in the Court of Farseeing. And this Crescent Stone controls all the magic. Basically, it takes the Elenel, thinks whatever they need to be done, gives it over to the Skim, back in reverse. It's so complicated. Anyways, and this raises an even bigger question. What is happening in terms of Madeline's breath? Madeline finds out the answer to that when Darius takes her to visit a Skim family, and this little girl named Yennefer has a matching tattoo with Madeline. Right now, Madeline's magic tattoo has spread all over her. It started in her wrist and went all the way up to her arm, across her chest, and starting to spread into her other arm. And Yennefer's tattoos match Madeline's exactly. And so whenever Madeline takes a full breath, Yennefer is struggling for life. Whenever Madeline runs or pants in exertion, then Yennefer is coughing and struggling for her own life. So Yennefer has given her breath to Madeline, but the Elenel are giving Yennefer and her family food in exchange for Yennefer's breath. Of course, Madeline is sickened and horrored by this, and she instantly wants to take out her tattoo and rip it, but Yennefer's mother begs her not to. However, the Elenel have now found out that Madeline knows and are now trying to kill Yennefer's parents, and they succeed. So Madeline takes Yennefer and goes back to the Court of Farseeing. She vows to go up to the palace and destroy the Crescent Stone once and for all, so that all this magic and the unfairness will be stopped instantly. But at the last minute, when she reaches the top, Archon's entity is there as well, and he tells Madeline that if she either decides to kill him, as she really wants to now, as he is like the whole person behind this thing, or destroys the Crescent Stone, then she and Jason and Yennefer and Shula and Darius will instantly be killed because they're all at the top of the castle right now. However, she can decide to just put her sword down and walk away, and the Archon will let them live. However, Madeline decides to take the sword and she plunges it into her wrist, breaking the tattoo and the magic, giving her breath back to Yennefer and taking the disease back to herself. Now Madeline is close to death, and this lady takes her back to Earth at her wish. Madeline says goodbye to her friends, and they're all, of course, super heartbroken that she is leaving. But they know that it's the right thing to do, and Shula and Yennefer will also go back with her. So that is pretty much the ending. Jason and Darius are still in the Sunlit Lands, and Madeline is back at Earth, still with her terrible fatal disease, but also knowing that she did the right thing and gave Yennefer back her breath. So that's the end of the summary. Next up is my morals. So first up is Christian beliefs / other worldviews. So Mikelatos is a Christian author, but like he doesn't mention God by name here, although there's this like sort of Trinity thing where the Elenel have their majestic one, which is the God figure in the Trinity, and the Skim's peasant king is like Jesus in the Trinity as well. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. It's kind of like Aslan in Narnia. I did not find any other prominent worldviews here. There is one mention of the necromancers that also coexist along with the Elenel, but there's also like a pretty funny twist with that I'm going to reveal in the Hardwood Crown book review. But yeah, okay, so that's it for worldviews. Next up is violence. So of course there were some like battles mentioned, you know, with Jason and his friends having to go fight the Skim every night, and of course the whole bloody healing process that was really weird. But there are a few descriptions with some detail. That's it. Next up is romance. So Madeline, of course, had her ex-boyfriend Darius Walker, but she broke up with him because she felt it wasn't fair to tie him down if she was going to die in a few months. There was like not so much poured into their relationship. And also, spoiler alert, Jason met this Kakri warrior named Baelea, and he accidentally proposed to her. It's actually really funny. So the story is that the Kakri treat stories like money in their culture, and when it's considered a proposal when a Kakri person tells a story that he hasn't told anybody else to the Kakri woman he wants to propose to. And so Jason told his story about his sister to Bealea, and Jason has this tragic past with his sister, which I'll delve more into later in my next review. But yeah, so he accidentally got engaged to her. It was actually hilarious. But yeah, okay, that's it for romance. Next up is racism. Darius is black, and in the book he's been telling Madeline about all the slurs and comments he's received over the years. And Darius is strongly against that, so he champions the Skim as the Black Skull in the story and fights for them. But yeah, there's a positive view on this represented in the book. Okay, next up is my rating and recommended age level. So I'm gonna rate this one 5 stars. I think it was like the funniest book I've read in a long time. And I really loved the great world development, character building, and the pretty good world views here. Jason like made me die of laughter pretty much the entire book. And I'm gonna put the age level at 11 plus. The content I think is suitable for maybe 10 as well, but because of the complexity of the story, I'm gonna put it at 11. So yeah, that's it for today. Really loved this book. Links to it in the description below. And yeah, bye guys! Breakfast!
Breakfast! Who said breakfast? Where's the breakfast? Where's the breakfast? I'm hungry. I need food. Where's the food? I need breakfast. I'm hungry. I need breakfast. Where's the breakfast? Show me. Point me in the right direction, Pristine.
He said, and slapped a warm bowl of porridge with purple berries into Jason's hands. The porridge was bland and the berries too sour.
Bland porridge, flavored porridge, sour berries, sweet berries. I eat 'em all.
Then he saw the pudding cup sitting on the end of his bed. He scooped the pudding into his porridge and mixed it in, which created a sort of chocolate-flavored chunky puddle that was somewhere between edible and delicious. Cocoa grabbed the empty pudding container and ran a finger around the inside. "What is this? Pudding?" "Yeah," Jason said. "My deal with Hanabi was a cup of pudding every day for the rest of my life, and in exchange I'd hang out here for a year." He smacked his lips. "Magic pudding tastes exactly like hospital pudding."
Magic pudding. I didn't know there are different types of pudding. Will magic pudding make me grow maybe longer legs? Or a bigger nose? No, I don't think I'd like that very much. Pointier ears? There's hospital pudding though. Don't think that sounds nearly as good as magic pudding, but I don't know, still it's pudding, so wait a second. But if I go to the hospital, that means I'm hurt. I don't want to get broken bones or a concussion. Oh wait, what if I catch COVID? Oh no, I'm gonna die if I catch COVID. Oh wait a second, if I catch COVID, I'm going to the hospital. And then I'll get hospital pudding. So maybe it won't be so bad after all.